In this lesson, we're going to learn how to solve word problems, which can easily be solved by translating them into linear equations. And it's not a very difficult process, but there are some things that you're going to have to remember. So you'll notice that there are some key words in all of these statements that you're going to need to know how to deal with. And so that's this. So there's some key words in which it's understood to be addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So let's look at the addition. So when you see the word sum, that means addition. So look at this, the sum of 6 and x. So that means 6 plus x. A number increased by 5. So you see the word increase, that means add. So a number increased by 5 means n plus 5. 3 more than a number. So 3, when you see the word more than, that means add. So 3 more than a number means the number plus 3. So n plus 3. Okay? Subtraction can be a little bit more challenging for certain of those keywords. So let's look at this one. Subtraction. When you see the word difference, so the difference between a number and 7, that's subtraction. You got to put that number first, though. So that's why you see x listed first. So x minus 7. So remember, subtraction is not commutative. The order in which you subtract does matter. Okay, so you must say x minus 7, not 7 minus x. Okay? All right, so subtraction, the order in which you subtract matters. A number decreased by 6. So that's x minus 6. So you're decreasing a number by 6. So it's got to look like x minus 6. 3 less than a number. Now, this is one that sometimes gets students confused. So 3 less than a number. So you see right here, this says 3 more than a number. So you said a number plus 3, right? So 3 less than a number means that you're subtracting 3 from the number. That's what that means. So 3 less than a number. So that word less than, that's subtraction. But what that means also is that you are subtracting 3 from a number. That means the same thing. So subtracting 3 from a number. So that's why you see that number first. So n minus 3. And then 9 minus a number, that's straightforward. 9 minus a number. So that's 9 minus n. All right. So when you do with subtraction, you have to be a little bit more careful because subtraction is not commutative. The order does matter. Okay, multiplication, that's easy also. Product, when you see product, that means to multiply. So the product of 6 and a number, 6n. Times means multiply, 5 times a number, 5n. 1/2 of a number, that means 1/2. Remember, 1/2 means 1/2. Of means to multiply. 1/2 times x. Quotient, division. Quotient means to divide. So the quotient of a number in 4, so n divided by 4. Okay, so division is not commutative either. So when the order in which you see this is the order in which you write it. So when you see the word quotient, that's division. The number's listed first, so that goes in the numerator. The 4 is listed second, so that goes in the denominator. A number divided by 8, that's straightforward. A number divided by 8. Okay, so subtraction is the only one for some of those key words that you have to be careful with. Okay, all right, so let's look at the first one. So the first one says the sum of a number and a negative 5 is negative 8. And you want to find that number. Okay, so let's look at that one. Okay, so here's number 1. The sum of a number and negative 5 is negative 8. So remember, sum, when you see the word sum, remember sum means addition, right? Sum means addition. All right, so the sum of a number, so we're going to let x equal that number, or n, whatever you want to use. So we're going to let x equal that number. So this says n plus, so sum, adding the sum of a number and negative 5, so that means this, negative 5, is negative 8. Okay, so I translated this into this. Now, is means equal. All right, so keep that in mind, that's equal. So this right here is the equal symbol. Okay, now, I would go ahead because the way it's written here sometimes confuses students. So you got to remember that n plus a negative 5 means the same thing as n subtract 5. Okay? And now let's go ahead and solve for n. So I'm going to add 5 to both sides. And so when I combine like terms, I get n to be, and I used n. Let me go ahead and change this to n, since I wrote this as n. So let n be the number, so I get this. So a negative 8 plus 5 is a negative 3, and there's your answer. All right? And it kind of makes sense because look, if you check it, look what happens. So the sum of a number negative 8, right? So here's my number, negative 3, and let's see. Okay, so the sum of a number which is negative 3 and negative 5, and you want to see that's going to equal negative 8. Is that a true statement? What's negative 3 plus negative 5? Negative 8. All right, so that's correct. Okay, number 2. Let's look at number 2. Okay, so 3 more than twice a number is 9. You want to find the number. Okay, so remember, 3 more than means to add, right? So you saw that here. More than, 3 more than, right? So 3 more than twice a number. But remember, twice a number means to multiply that number by 2. So let's go ahead and let x equal the number. So this I'm going to go ahead and use x. So let x be the number. So what this means, what that first part here means, this part here, what that means is this. 3 more than twice the number. So you have twice the number, so 2 times x, and you're adding 3 to it. And then is means equal 9. So there's your equation. So the first thing you need to do is to rewrite this into an equation. So you're going to let x be the number, or n be a number, whatever you want to use. So twice that number means you're going to multiply by 2, and then you're going to add 3. Okay? And then the rest is just to solve for the variable. So let's go ahead and solve. So we're going to subtract 3 from both sides. Combining like terms, I get 2x equal, and then 9 subtract 3 is 6. Divide both sides by 2. I get x to be 3. So that's your number. Okay? And let's go ahead and check to make sure that makes sense. Okay, so this says 3 more than twice the number. So I'm going to take that number I just found, which is 3, and I'm going to multiply by 2, and then I want to add 3 to that. And hopefully I'll get 9. 2 times 3 is 6. 6 plus 3 is 9. So that's correct. Okay? All right, that's number 2. Let's go ahead and look at number 3. Okay, so 2 less than 3 times a number is 10. That's 10. And you want to find the number. Okay, so remember 2 less than, so less than, that's going to be subtraction, but remember the order matters, so you got to be careful. So when you see less than, 3 less than a number, you got to put that number first and then subtract 3. Okay, that order matters. Okay, so 2 less than 3 times a number, so we're going to let x equal the number. So you got to indicate what your unknown is, so x will be that number. So you're going to say 3x minus 2 is equal to 10. Okay? And now you're going to solve this equation. So you wrote this as an equation. Now let's go ahead and solve that equation because you want to find that number. So I'm going to add 2 to both sides. And so when I do that, I get 3x equals 12. And then divide both sides by 12, I get x to be 4. So 4, so the number is 4. Okay? So the number is 4. So if they tell you to write this in a sentence, you would say the number is 4. That's what you would say. Okay, so that was number 3. Let's look at number 4. Okay, number 4. Number 4 says this. 8 times a number is 6 less than twice the number. And you want to find the number. All right, so let's go ahead and let x be that number. That's going to be the unknown. Let x equal the number. All right, I'm going to set the equation as we read this. So as we read this, let's think about it. 8 times a number, and then you have that word is. So is means equal. So 8 times the number is. So hopefully you saw that part. So that is this. Okay? And then here's that less than again. So it's 6 less than twice the number. So hopefully you understand that you got to write this part as 2x minus 6. So there's your equation. And then you got to solve for x. So this is your equation. You got to solve for x now. So we get 8x minus 2x is 6x equal, this is 0, negative 6. And divide both sides by 6. And your number is negative 1. So you would say the number is negative 1. Okay? So that's number 4. All right, not difficult at all. It's just being able to translate those words into these expressions here. That's all that is. Translate these words into the operations involving those variable expressions. Okay, so let's look at number 5. So this is going to be number 5. Okay, number 5. 9 less than 5 times a number is 6 more than 8 times the number. And you want to find the number. So let's go ahead and let x equal the number. That's going to be unknown. X equal the number. And then we're going to translate these words into expressions. So 9 less than 5 times the number is. So there's that word is. So that's going to be equal. So let's look at that first part then. 9 less than. So we have that less than, right? So we're going to do that 5 times first. 5 times a number. So it'll be 5x minus 9. So that's what this is. 9 less than 5 times a number is this. Is. Again, let's look at the second part. 6 more than. So that means to add 6. 8 times the number. So it'll be 8x plus 6. Okay? All right, so we have this equation. There's our equation, and the next step is to solve for x to find the number. So I'm going to subtract 5x from both sides, and I get 5x minus 5 is 0, so I get negative 9 equal 8x minus 5x is 3x plus 6, right? So now I'm going to subtract 6 from both sides. A negative 9 and a negative 6 is a negative 15 equals 3x. Divide both sides by 3. I get x to be negative 5. And so you would say the number is negative 5. Okay? So the number is negative 5. Now I just want to go on and say this. All of our numbers have been integers, but when we say number, we really mean any type of number, okay? It could be fractions as well. So just keep that in mind, but so far ours have been integers. Okay, so that's number 5. Let's go ahead and look at number 6. Number 6. Okay, so number 6, twice the sum of a number and 5 is 8 more than 3 times the number. You want to find the number. So let's go ahead and let x be the unknown. So that's the number. That's what I'm trying to find. Okay, now be careful here because this says twice the sum of a number and 5. So what that means is this, and listen carefully. So whatever the sum of a number and 5 is, so that's going to be x plus 5, the sum of a number and 5. So x plus 5. Oops, x plus 5. This says twice, this word twice means you're going to take that sum and you're going to multiply it by 2. So that's what that part looks like. So twice the sum of a number and 5. Okay? Is means equal 8 more than, so that's going to be adding 3 times the number. So it'll be 3x plus 8. All right? So be careful with that one. Twice the sum of a number and 5 is 8 more than 3 times the number. All right, so there's your equation. So we have to use the distributive property here. So I get 2x plus 10 equals 3x plus 8. Subtract 2x from both sides. Combine like terms. I get 10 equals 3x minus 2x is x plus 8. Subtract 8 from both sides. 10 minus 8 is 2. So I get x to be 2, so that's your number. So the number is 2. Okay? So you asked to write in a sentence, that's what you would say. The number is 2. Okay, that was number 6. That was number 6. Let's go ahead and look at number 7. Okay, so number 7, it says 3 times the sum of a number and 4 is 6 more than the number. So it's very similar to number 6, and you find the number. So we're going to let x equal the unknown. In this case, which is the number, excuse me. So we're going to let x equal the number. And so remember, this says 3 times the sum of the number and 4. So first of all, the sum of a number and 4 is this. That's x plus 4. And then you're going to multiply that by 3. So that's what that first part means. Is means equal. 6 more than the number. So that's just x plus 6. All right. And so now you set up the equation. So now your you're going to go ahead and distribute. So I get 3 times x is 3x. 3 times 4 is 12, equal x plus 6. Subtract x from both sides. 3x minus x is 2x plus 12, equal, and then that's just what, 6. Subtract 12 from both sides. Combine like terms, I get 2x equals 6 minus 12 is a negative 6. And then divide both sides by 2. I find my number to be negative 6 divided by 2 is negative 3. So the number is negative 3. Okay? So that's your sentence. All right, so that's number 7. So it's not difficult, right? Fairly simple. It's just translating these words into an equation. That's all that is. All right, so number 8 says, find a number given that the sum of a number and 3 is the same as 10 less than twice the number. Okay, so you want to find a number, so let's go ahead and let's use n this time. Let n equal the number. And you want to find a number given that. All right, so you're told that the sum of a number and 3, so that means n plus 3, right, is the same, so that would be equal, is the same, equal, as 10 less than, so be careful, there's that word less than, twice the number, so you got to put twice the number first. So 2n minus 10, okay? And so we set up the equation, so we translated these sentences into an equation. So now let's solve the equation to find that number. So let's go ahead and subtract n from both sides. So I get n minus n is 0, so I get 3 equals 2n minus n is n minus 10. Adding 10 to both sides, I get n equals 13. So the number is 13. And so there's your sentence. Okay, so that was number 8. All right, let's look at number 9. Okay, and so number 9 says this. Find a number given that 9 times the difference. Remember that word difference, we saw that earlier. So remember difference is that subtraction, but remember if it says the difference between a number and 7, remember subtracting the order matters. So the order in which you write this does matter. So when you see the word difference, that first thing listed goes first. So the number, that's x, and then 7 was second, okay? So it's important you think about subtraction. The order does matter. All right. Okay, so find a number given that 9 times the difference of a number and 7 is the same as 263 less than the number. All right, so this says 9 times the difference of a number and 7. So you got to think of this expression first. So difference of a number and 7 means this. And I'm going to let n equal the number. So that's what I'm trying to find. So the difference of a number and 7 means this, n minus 7. Not 7 minus n minus 7. N is listed first. But this says 9 times that. So I got to multiply that in, put that in parentheses and multiply by 9. And that's going to equal is the same as, so equal 263 less than the number. So we got to put 263 behind that number. So that means n minus 263. So we translated these sentences into this equation. All right, and then solve for n, and you found your number. So let's go ahead and distribute. So I get 9n minus 9 times 7 is 63 equals n minus 263. Let's go ahead and subtract n from both sides. So I get 9n minus n is 8n minus 63 equals, these divide out. I'm sorry, not divide out. These add up to be 0 equals negative 263. Adding 63 to both sides, right? I get 8n equals a negative 263 plus 63 is a negative 200. And then finally dividing both sides by 8, I found my number to be a negative 200 divided by 8 is a negative 25. And so you'd say the number is negative 25. Okay? All right, so that was number 9. Okay, now, so that was our lesson on translating word problems into equations. Not a very difficult process. It's fairly simple to deal with.